Max Verstappen has no sympathy to give to Lewis Hamilton. In a stunning tell-all, the 2023 champion showed his indifference towards the Mercedes star slump. And Helmut Marko's fate is up in the air as the team holds a meeting to decide his future after his controversial antics last season. I know you can't wait to get your hands on all the facts, so without further ado, let's get into it. Max Verstappen has indicated that he doesn't feel sorry for Lewis Hamilton's current lack of victories in Formula 1, pointing out that such winless spells are a natural part of the sport. Hamilton holds the title of the most decorated driver in F1 history, boasting an impressive 7 World Championships, a record 103 race wins, and 104 pole positions. Despite these remarkable achievements, Mercedes has been grappling with challenges in adapting to the latest ground effect machinery. Consequently, Hamilton finds himself in the midst of his lengthiest winless streak in F1, going 2 seasons without securing a victory. In the meantime, Red Bull has been in complete control throughout this time frame, with Verstappen securing victory in an impressive 34 out of the 44 races conducted under the current set of regulations. However, it's worth noting that despite making a winning debut with Red Bull in 2016, Verstappen had to wait for 5 seasons before getting a competitive car to challenge Mercedes and Hamilton for the 2021 championship. With just 10 wins under his belt before that crucial period, the 3-time champion emphasises that experiencing phases without a consistently competitive race car is a normal occurrence in the sport. When questioned by German newspaper Blick about the potential challenge if he were to face a situation similar to his former title rival, Verstappen said, "I did it too. No, wait, that's not true. I was able to get a win every now and then. Well, periods like this can happen, but I prefer not to think about it because they eat up the necessary energies in you." When Max Verstappen decides to retire from racing, he gets a sneak peek into what lies ahead for him. If Max Verstappen were to step into the role of a team principal in motorsport, he envisions being a straightforward and no-nonsense kind of boss. The 3-time world champion has openly discussed his post-Formula 1 intentions, possibly calling it quits as early as 2028 due to his dissatisfaction with the direction F1 is taking. While he's currently involved with an esports team and is a regular in sim racing, the Red Bull driver does aspire to venture into team management, but he's leaning towards exploring opportunities outside of Formula 1. He went into detail about his plans of becoming a GT racing team boss, saying that is my goal. I don't necessarily want to drive myself, but I want to build something big and give talented drivers a chance. That doesn't mean that I want to take them into Formula 1, but I want to help them progress in racing. There are so many series in motorsport where you can have fun and be successful, and as a professional racing driver, you can also make a living from it, not just in Formula 1. I would certainly be a no-bullshit boss, maybe a bit old-fashioned because it's all about performance and not how connected you are to social media. I just want to win because that stops all the talk around it, and that's the most important thing for me. Verstappen cruised to an impressive 19 victories in 22 races during the recent campaign, setting a new record for the most consecutive wins with an impressive streak of 10 in a row. Despite currently holding the 3rd spot on the all-time wins list, the 26-year-old attributes his and Red Bull's unparalleled success to their pursuit of ultimate perfection. I'm paying close attention to what's going on behind the scenes. The slightest background noise or problem must be stopped. There's no other way for a community of interests as large as Red Bull to function. And it seems like the Dutchman isn't alone in thinking this. Adrien Neiz noted that Max Verstappen's ability to drive with an additional mental reserve reminds him of other legendary champions he has collaborated with in the past. Verstappen secured his 3rd World Championship by a substantial margin in 2023, amassing more than double the points of his teammate and closest competitor Sergio Perez. His impressive total of 575 points accounted for 92.74% of the points available to him at the beginning of the season. The formidable pairing of the Dutchman and the Red Bull RB19, crafted under the guidance of Adrien Neiz, emerged as one of the most dominant forces in the history of the sport. Verstappen's triumph in the Drivers' Championship and Red Bull's success in the Constructors' Championship marked the 24th and 25th Formula 1 titles for designs by Adrien Neiz. This season, in particular, elevated the standards to rank among the finest. As the 7th different driver to clinch a title in one of Neiz's cars, Verstappen joins a prestigious group. Over the years, Newey has closely observed and worked with various title-winning drivers, providing him with valuable insights into the operations of some of the very best in the sport. In a conversation with BBC Sport, Newey articulated that securing a championship involves a trifecta: a great driver, a good car, and a reliable engine. According to him, if any of these elements is lacking, you might secure occasional victories, but clinching the championship becomes a challenging feat. Verstappen's back-to-back record-breaking seasons, marked by a 15-win year followed by an impressive 19 victories in 2023, have etched their place in Formula One history as the all-time records for the most wins in a single season. Newey pointed out that the distinguishing factor for Verstappen and other racing greats is the mental reserve they possess, setting them apart from the rest. He said, "I have been fortunate enough to have worked with several great drivers, and while their personalities can be significantly different in how they conduct themselves, their approach to little things like debriefs after each session, the thing they all have in common is the ability to drive the car with a lot of mental reserve left. They are able to drive the car with enough capacity left over to think about how they're using the tyres, how the race is unfolding, when to push, when to not push. More, of course, now, in particular with these cars, how to adjust the electronic settings to suit the handling of the car as it develops through the race. Max is quite exceptional at that." In other news, Helmut Marko has disclosed that discussions about his future with Red Bull will kick off soon, emphasising the uncertainty surrounding it. Rumours about Marko's tenure with the Red Bull team have been circulating for a while. The 80-year-old Austrian found himself in a storm of negativity in 2023, particularly after making comments about Sergio Perez that raised doubts about his talents based on his nationality. During this period, baseless rumours of a power struggle within Red Bull surfaced, prompting both Marko and team boss Christian Horner to downplay their significance. But Marko has been candid about the fact that his enjoyment of his F1 duties has diminished since the passing of Red Bull owner and close friend Dietrich Mateschitz. Despite Red Bull as an organisation navigating its way forward just over a year after Mateschitz's passing, the eponymous F1 team is experiencing unparalleled success as they enter 2024. The team's performance in the previous season was the most dominant in the sport's 73-year history as a championship. The question now lingers: what role will Marko play in the team's future? In a candid interview with Austria's OE24, Marko shared that he's currently relishing some downtime in his primary role as a hotelier back in Graz. However, he confirmed that discussions about the extent of his future involvement as Red Bull's motorsport consultant will take place next week. When asked about the potential for Horner's F1 role to expand to oversee both Red Bull and AlphaTauri, Marko didn't categorically dismiss the idea, leaving room for speculation. He said, "There are different trends and variants. The decisions are still open, including what I will do next. My current contract runs until the end of 2024. There's no chance of Horner stepping into the shoes of the retiring Franz Tost as the team boss for Red Bull's second squad." Addressing a rumour regarding power dynamics within Red Bull, which suggested that Max Verstappen, crucial to the team's success, is keen on Marko continuing in his role, Marko was asked if this would influence the ongoing discussions. He responded, saying, "That's a complex issue. Of course, I also have an obligation to Red Bull and Max. Nevertheless, the overall package has to fit. Nothing has been decided yet. Checo, if you're watching this video, lend me your ears. Valtteri Bottas has offered insights into the mindset required when serving as a teammate to a multiple championship-winning driver. Previously, as the wingman at Mercedes alongside Lewis Hamilton, Bottas played a crucial role in securing numerous world titles for the team. However, his move to Alfa Romeo has afforded him the opportunity to be the senior driver, providing a different perspective on his experience within the Mercedes team environment. Bottas achieved an impressive streak of 103 Q3 appearances, very different to Perez's qualifying challenges this year. He reflected on his mindset during his time with the Silver Arrows and how he navigated the experience of being asked to move aside during the 2021 season. He told Motorsport magazine, "I just don't really think about that. It was just at that moment when I had to accept it. It was the last year together with Lewis, and each of the 5 years I couldn't finish ahead of him on average. I think it was his peak when he had great performances, but today I don't think it has changed anything. I still go to the races with good confidence and feel like I can beat anyone on a good day." You have to have this attitude that you can beat anyone, the 10-time race winner said. You can't go into a race weekend and tell yourself you can't beat him, you would have already lost. In this sense, it is a sport in which you always have to have good self-confidence and convince yourself. If you don't have that trust, you'll end up in a difficult downward spiral. You can see that on the stopwatch and the consistency. I would say, looking at what Checo is going through, he's definitely lacking some trust, and you can see that in the results. So, will Sergio Perez challenge his inner Bottas and play a more effective wingman role in 2024, or will we see more of the same? Why don't you tell us in the comment section down below? And, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thanks for watching.